In this video, I'm going to teach how to multiply conjugates. In the past, we've learned two forms of conjugates. Those are a plus bi and a minus bi, and the other pair is a plus square root of b and a minus square root of b. Conjugates are always opposite, so if one is adding, then the other one will always be subtracting. They always come in pairs. Whenever you're trying to simplify using radicals, you can always use the formula a square minus b square instead of FOILing it out. For this problem, I'm going to do both. I will FOIL and I will use a square minus b square. First, I'll start by FOILing. In FOIL, you go first, outside, inside, and last. Your first term is 11, square root of 11 times square root of 11. And whenever you multiply two that are the same with the same root and the same number inside, then it's always that number. So square root of 11 times square root of 11 makes it 11. Then you go outside, square root of 11 times negative 5 makes it negative 5 square root 11. Inside, positive 5 times square root of 11. And then last, you have 5 times negative 5. That is 25. Then you combine like terms, and negative 5 square root 11 plus 5 square root 11 cancel out, and you're left with 11 minus 25. From here you can simplify further out. 25 minus 1 equals 24, and 24 minus 10 equals negative 14. So your answer is negative 14. And this is using FOIL. Now if you were to use a square minus b square, for this problem up here, your a value is square root of 11, and your b value is 5. Whenever you square it, these cancel out and you're left with 11. And for b, 5 squared equals 25. You're left with the same thing that you see over here, and you know that your answer is going to be negative 14. Another example of a problem that this would work could be 3 square root of 2 minus 2 square root of 3 times 3 square root of 2 plus 3 square root of 3. Even though this is much more complicated, you can either FOIL it out or use a squared minus b squared. If you were to FOIL it out, you would go first, 3 times 3 is 9, and then the square root of 2 times the square root of 2 is 2, so 2 times 9 is 18. Outside, 3 root 2 times 2 root 3. 3 times 2 is 6. Then 2 times 3, whatever's inside the radical, is also 6. Inside, negative 2 times positive 3 equals negative 6. Put your radical, whatever's inside the radical next, and that is 2 times 3, so root 6, and then last, you have negative 2 root 3 and positive 2 root 3. 2 times 2 equals 4, and because this is negative, it carries down. And then the square root of 3 times the square root of 3 equals 3. Let's use a multiplication dot instead. You simplify this and you add like terms. These cancel out because 6 square root of 6 minus 6 square root of 6 equals 0. So you're left with 18 minus 12. And your answer for this will be 6. If you use a squared plus b squared, your a value in this case will be 3 root 2. B will be 2 root 3. A squared minus b squared (3 times 2 is 9), and then the square root of 2 to the power of 2. This cancels out and you get 2. If you multiply these, 9 times 2, you get 18. And then b squared, 2 to the power of 3. This should be a 2, I'm sorry, because it's a squared minus b squared. 2 to the power of 2 is 4. And then square root of 3 to the power of 2 cancels out. And you're left with 3. And if you multiply 4 times 3, you get 12. 18 minus 12 equals 6. It's the same thing both times.